Hey you, it is me again. If you are watching this, it means that you've made it to episode 8 of the No Motivation series. We only have 2 episodes left, and both of those are going to be about something, that's for sure. If you are just starting out, I linked the beginning episodes in the description below so you can go through and watch the videos from the start because they'll make a little more sense. But overall, we're talking about motivation and how to stay motivated whenever you create a new behavior change or whenever you set out to start living a healthy lifestyle. So, let's get started. And just so you know, anyone that's new here, these videos are completely raw. They are uncut, unfiltered, and all me. So bear with me. And if you prefer to learn a little faster, because I speak a little slowly, then you can hit the fast forward button that should be somewhere down here. And you can fast forward my voice to like 1.75 so you can get the information faster. If you want to give yourself permission to chill and hang out and just listen to me talk for 10 minutes, then you can do that too. So now let's really get started. Today we're going to be talking about movement, and the skill set that we're going to be learning is mindset shifts that help you actually create movement routine, like that actually help you work out instead of not working out. Right now, we all know that working out is good for us. It is something that we should be doing in order to stay healthy. And there's a plethora of health benefits that working out has for you and on your body. The reason why we work out. Some of my personal favorites are, of course, strengthening your body. But the other one is building resilience, which is kind of cool. Whenever you work out, you're doing something hard and you're teaching your body that you can do hard things, whether it's mentally, because it is a mental thing whenever you're working out and continuing to push past the point of discomfort, or whether it's physical, pushing your body to its limits in order to grow and get stronger. Resiliency is such a cool benefit of working out. If you're interested of learning other benefits, maybe I'll make a video on it sometime, but for now, just do your research. We talked about that in the last video and the importance of finding autonomy in that and doing your own research in order to live a healthy lifestyle. Because there's a lot of people that are going to tell you what you should do, what you should not do. Even me, I'll tell you those things too, but it's up to you to actually do the research and to figure out what works best for you. Because not everything everybody says is going to be true. And by that, true for you specifically, because we're all unique. We all have different lives. Today, we're going to talk about 3 of my favorite mindset shifts that I use to work out, to get myself to work out. The first one is starting small. The second one is finding a way that works for you. And then the third way is to be present with the pain, which is kind of a new one that I've been using as a practice whenever I work out. So let's begin with starting small. Whenever you're starting to work out, it is so easy to jump on that motivation and want to go to the gym or go for a run or do something that is super powerful and with a lot of impact and high intensity, things that make you feel like you're doing the thing. But reality is, whenever you start off on that high note, you can injure yourself, or you can just flat out give up because it's too hard and your body doesn't want to do that again. You start to work out and then you're sore for like 4 days after. Who wants to work out after being sore for 4 days? I don't think you do. And this is just speaking from my own personal experience and of course my education and yada yada. But these 3 tips are like my experience, what's worked really well for me. Starting small. So building the habit, the routine of working out before you actually start incorporating higher intensity workouts that are going to be harder and that are going to cause you to become more sore. So first, building the routine, it's just doing something every day. Planning a workout, or even it doesn't have to be every day. If you're not working out at all, then starting out with 2 days a week, 3 days a week, and then upping to 5 to 7. Really, the goal is to spend less time being inactive. If you're sitting at a desk all day, taking breaks to fidget, to dance, to take a walk, to stand up at your desk, to stretch, or if you are watching TV, taking breaks to move around. The goal is really, in your life, making it a lifestyle thing, is less inactivity. But since we're talking about exercise and planned exercise, starting with what feels good to you right now. Give yourself the permission, if you will, to start small, to start with a couple minutes, a couple days a week. There's nothing wrong with that. You're still doing more work than you were doing last week. It's okay to take your time to build up to things, and actually, in the long run, it's more beneficial to do that. So, starting small. Keep that in mind the next time you start to get that motivation. Instead of being nervous that it's going to deplete, and if you don't get it all out of your system right now, it's not going to come back. Take a moment to create a plan. I'm going to split this crazy motivation up into Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays of 10 minutes. 10 minutes of planned activity, something where I'm intentionally moving my body to heal my body and to make my body stronger. Next is finding something that you love to do, finding something that works for you. High intensity interval training is not for everybody. Running is not for everybody. Yoga is not for everybody. There are different workouts that are just not for everybody, and that's okay. And that's why you find what works for you. So if you're just starting out, you have the creative ability to just try a bunch of different things. You don't have to just run or just strength train or just do this or just do that. You can do a little bit of everything. Maybe make that your goal. Instead of thinking of it so much as a workout, think of it as an experience, trying out all of these new different things to see what works well for you. This has shown up in my life time and time again, where I set myself a goal of I'm only going to do this type of workout for this amount of time, and that's how I'm going to get healthy. And sometimes that's nice. Like I used to run cross country, that would do it. That's a lot of the same thing over and over again. But then I went through phases where I did a lot of yoga, a lot of Pilates, a lot of just playing in my backyard with the dogs or going for walks, hiking, really. There's a lot of different things. And I'm still trying new things to this day to see what works well for me. And this is incredibly important because your physical activity isn't a punishment. It's a gift. It is a time that you've set aside as a gift for yourself to do something good for your body, your mind, and your soul. So have some fun with it. Don't get too serious when it comes to workout plans unless you have like a very, very specific goal. Give yourself time to play and to figure out what you like, what you like. And when you start getting comfortable with that, then you can start shaking things up a bit, because it is recommended to do cardio and strength training every single week. And so you can do your research, which we learned in the last episode, and you can start incorporating that as well. So that's all I have to say on finding something that works for you. The third, but not last thing we're going to talk about, the third thing that has worked really, really well for me as far as working out goes is being present with the pain. When I was in cross country, I liked to escape from the pain. I told myself stories while I was running. I counted my footsteps. I counted down how many miles I had left to go. I was doing anything I could do to avoid the pain. I remember even looking up like lazy girl workouts because I really didn't want to feel the pain. It was like doing calf raises while you were brushing your teeth, or doing some type of workout while ever you're watching TV. It was so you're distracted and you don't feel the pain. It doesn't feel like working out. But at this point in my life, I wanted to be curious. I wanted to try something different. And so instead of avoiding the pain, I've been asking myself, how can I actually lean into this and actually feel what I'm feeling? You know, this might not work for you. It might work for you. Yeah, it might not work for you. It might work for you. But overall, it's something that you could at least try, at least have some curiosity for. It's interesting whenever I'm working out, especially for me, the pain comes. I like to run, I like doing yoga, I like Pilates, but out of all of those things, Pilates is the one that really pushes me and allows me to have that chance to work through the pain. And yes, running does that too. It's just a little different because it was something that I did a lot in high school. But with Pilates, it's a new type of pain. And so I ask myself, okay, where do I feel the pain? What does pain actually feel like? What is the difference between pain that makes me want to stop and pain that I can push through? What is my threshold? These are questions that I ask myself while I'm working out because I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious, and I think this is something that you could try too and see if it works for you. But it does allow me to push through the pain and to also listen to my body for moments when I just don't push through the pain. I don't push through and it doesn't feel like giving up because I'm listening to my body, and I know that there's a difference between pain that is actually like, hey, you gotta stop, and pain that's like, hey, you gotta stop, but in reality, you can keep going. You know what I mean? So those were the 3 things that I do that helps me keep a consistent exercise routine. The mindset shifts. Of course, there's planning and there's all of the other process stuff that you can do, mostly planning, goal setting, yada, yada, yada. Stuff that you can do with a health and wellness coach like myself. But there's also the 3 things that you can do for your mind to help you continue to work out, to make this a behavior change that lasts. I've been talking for a long time already. So the last thing I wanted to bring up is what do you do when you feel like giving up? If you've made it this far in the video and you listened to everything that I had to say, at least answer this one question for me. What do you do when you feel like giving up? What does that feel like in your body, and how do you respond to it? I'm just really curious to know, like, do you escape? Do you move towards it? Do you do a mixture of both depending on what the situation is? I would love to hear in the comments below what your thoughts are on that. Just out of my own curiosity, I'll probably post it on my Instagram too, so that I can get even more responses, so I can learn because I'm genuinely curious. That's a huge thing that I talk about, especially with my clients, is curiosity. Curiosity is so important when it comes to behavior change and when it comes to any change. Well, that is behavior change. When it comes to change in your life. Finally, would you like a video on not always feeling like working out but still doing it anyway, and how to tell the difference of when to do it and when to not to do it? If you would, please let me know in the comments below as well so I can get started on that video, because I feel like that would be something kind of cool. But I also want to know if it's something you actually want to learn about. Maybe something I can talk about after the No Motivation series. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Usual sign off of like and subscribe and to comment and to follow me on Instagram at Love with Jels and all of that fun stuff that you really don't have to do if you don't feel like it. If you do, that's great. I like to follow people too. But if you don't, honestly, that's fine too. I'm just happy that you were here. All right, I will see you next week for the next week of the No Motivation series.